Chevrolet Corvette C3, a symbol of speed, era, and the American dream. Chapter 1. The Birth of a Legend. The late 1960s in America was a time when the dream of speed and style was as important as the dream of freedom. Youth drifting through waves of rock and rebellion sought new symbols of self-expression. The car ceased to be just a means of transport. It became a statement of personality. Into this chrome-scented, gasoline-infused world filled with the sound of electric guitars came the third-generation Chevrolet Corvette C3 in 1968. Its predecessor, the Corvette C2 Stingray, had already cemented the brand as a symbol of American power and spirit. But engineers at General Motors, inspired by the futuristic Mako Shark 2 concept, aimed higher. The next Corvette had to surpass everything that came before it. Not only in performance, but in presence. It had to look like a muscular predator born for asphalt, and that's precisely what it became. Chapter 2. The Lines of a Predator. When the C3 was first unveiled, journalists were at a loss for words. Some called it a spaceship, others a stiletto on wheels. Designer Larry Shinoda sculpted the car like a living creature. The long hood, curved fenders, muscular flanks, and sharply tapered rear with dual round taillights. The hidden headlights gave it a mysterious, almost sentient personality. The car seemed to wink before leaping onto the road. Beneath its seductive lines lay carefully calculated engineering. The aerodynamic shape improved handling and reduced drag. The fiberglass body, innovative for its time, kept the weight down and gave Corvette its enduring, unmistakable identity. Chapter 3. Mechanical Heart. At the core of C3's legend was its engine, the roaring V8, available in both small block and big block configurations, produced anywhere from 300 to over 400 horsepower, shaking the ground beneath its tires. The L88 and ZL1 versions, designed for racing, became mythic among enthusiasts, rare, formidable, and almost untamed. Starting the engine was an event of its own. The low growl turned into a thunderous crescendo with the press of the throttle. The sound of a Corvette engine was recognized in every American city. It wasn't mere mechanics. It was the soundtrack of an era when gasoline was cheap and highways stretched endlessly from coast to coast. Chapter 4. Corvette and the Culture of the 1970s. If the Mustang was the people's car, the Corvette C3 became the dreamer's car. It appeared in movies, on album covers, and in glossy lifestyle magazines. It was driven by rock stars, actors, successful entrepreneurs, war veterans, and racers. Corvette represented not just what you drove, but who you wanted to be: free, confident, slightly rebellious. The 1970s changed everything. The oil crisis, emission regulations, and economic uncertainty struck at the heart of muscle cars. Corvette power outputs declined, compression ratios dropped, exhaust systems grew quieter. Yet, through all of this, the C3 kept its soul. Even detuned, it remained every inch a Corvette, a car driven by sound, not statistics. Chapter 5. Inside the Machine. Climbing into a C3 was a ceremony. The low seating position, the endless view over the long hood, and a dashboard resembling a jet cockpit immersed the driver in an experience unlike any other. You sat nearly on the pavement, surrounded by instruments, switches, and the visceral roar of the engine. Every vibration spoke through the steering wheel. Every mile was felt, not just seen. Between 1968 and 1982, the model evolved continuously. T-top panels appeared, Interiors became quieter and more refined, materials improved. The 1978 anniversary edition with its silver scheme and bubble rear window became iconic. By the early 1980s, the car was no longer just a muscle machine. It had matured into a technological sports car. Chapter 6. Glory and Struggle. The C3 became a cult figure on the road and the track alike. It competed at Le Mans, featured in IMSA events, and roared through countless movie chase scenes. Yet time was catching up. Safety legislation, strict emissions controls, and changing public taste all worked against the old-school performance ethos. General Motors faced internal and external pressures. The story of Corvette in the 70s mirrored the story of American industry itself, a struggle between tradition and transformation. Yet, despite it all, the C3 stayed in production for almost 15 years, an extraordinary lifespan for a sports car. Year after year, it evolved, adjusted, adapted, yet never surrendered its spirit. Chapter 7. Legends in Garages and Hearts. When production ended in 1982, many felt an era had closed. The C3 became a bridge between the muscle 60s and the digital 80s. Its design may have seemed dated, but that was part of its enduring charm. People loved it not for convenience or economy, but because it embodied a time when roads invited you to chase the horizon. Today, Corvette C3 is a cherished classic, a living memory of a golden age. It stars at car shows, in nostalgic films, and in private collections. Enthusiasts dedicate years to restoring old models to original spec because every line, every badge, every reflection on its paint carries a story, a heartbeat of its era. Chapter 8. Engineering Evolution. Technically, the C3 was a bold step forward. Independent suspension, four-wheel disc brakes, turbo-hydromatic transmissions, and later, electronic fuel injection. All this was leading edge for its day. It represented a blend of classic muscle and emerging sophistication. Each model year absorbed new technologies without losing its mechanical soul. It also served as a testing bed for General Motors. Experiments with new alloys, safety systems, and performance innovations made the C3 a laboratory on wheels. Lessons learned here shaped the engineering of later Corvettes, from the C4 to the cutting-edge supercars of today. Chapter 9. The Echo of an Era. In today's world of hybrid drivetrains and mid-engine architecture, the third-generation Corvette feels like a relic from a wilder time. Raw, visceral, unapologetically alive. Its rumbling idle, its gasoline scent, its uneven curves, all stand in contrast to the polished silence of modern cars. For collectors and dreamers, the C3 is not just a car, it's a mindset. Restoring one is an act of devotion. Owners hunt down factory bolts, factory paint codes, and period-correct vinyl interiors. And when the old V8 fires up again after decades of silence, it's not just an engine starting, it's history breathing. Chapter 10. Corvette as the Mirror of America. The story of the C3 is the story of America itself. In every curve of its fenders and every glint of chrome lies the spirit of ambition, optimism, and defiance. In 1968, it represented the belief in limitless progress. In the 1970s, resilience and endurance. In the 1980s, nostalgia for power once unrestrained. The world moved forward, computers appeared, fuel economy became the new virtue, and industrial pride waned. But Corvette remained true to itself. Even now, when a vintage C3 rolls out onto an open highway, the deep, hoarse thunder that follows reminds you that time may pass, but legends never fade.